型三四郎
Sega Saturn SHIRO!
Hello, and welcome to an amazingly special SHIRO show. This one's a very special show because we not only got guests, we got a special patch premiere. That's right, we are going to release the bulk / patch, and we are going to play it, and it's going to be fun. And we got a lot of cool guests here, including CrouchingMouse that does the voice of the latest navigator. So I guess without further ado, I'd like to welcome all you guys here. We got a lot of guests here. We got Night of Dragon, CrouchingMouse, Danthrax. We got Dave. Well, he's not a guest, he's host, but you know what I mean. Got Lacquerware. Sorry, I keep messing up. Memphis.
Lacquerwave.
Shadow Mask, and of course the SSG, Sam the SSG. Also, I just got back from the court. What's up? But no, welcome guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. Thanks for having us. You look great.
Thanks.
Yeah, something has to be said.
Were you able to beat that traffic ticket?
No. Apparently, running over children is not a unget-outable ticket for some reason.
Crazy Taxi is a game, Pat.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. But anyways, welcome. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you that are a part of the project for making this happen and making this patch happen, because it is an amazing patch. Like, to be honest, it's fantastic.
Thank you. You know, we've said in the past, but you know, and we actually say this in the README file that accompanies the patch, but this project and the team's existence is thanks largely to your guys' efforts here on the SHIRO show and your Discord for helping build this community and you know, connect all the people that needed to be connected for this to happen. So thank you guys once again.
Yes,
That
thank
still
you.
blows my mind.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think it all started off. I guess we can tell it that it just started off with Dave posting a poll on there just for like hey, let's do some content and post a poll and see what fan translations people would want. And it spiraled all the way to this event right here with me wearing a suit, talking to a microphone, and being awkward on microphone with 3 people in the chat waiting for a patch to drop. So it's just crazy.
I think that the timing, like there's so many things that had to align that just happened to. I feel like it's really easy for these unofficial like translation projects to fall apart just because people get busy with more pressing commitments, or they just don't find each other. You know, I've wanted to do something like this for years, but I have very little technical know-how. I come from a language background. So that, you know, and I've enjoyed these Japan-only Saturn games for many years in isolation because I just wasn't able to share a lot of them with people. So being able to connect with people that knew how to at least start to like dig into the data and slowly through trial and error figure out where things are stored and how to replace them and things like that. That was really vital. And so it was this great congregation of different skills that made it all possible. So yeah, it feels like a small miracle of community.
Yeah, no, it's insane, and just the amount of effort the entire community is like putting into it, and not only just you guys, but just everybody in general sharing it out, talking about it, doing testing of it, displaying it. I know a lot of people that are not in our community, I guess per se, had displayed it. Like I think My Life in Gaming did a streaming of it, right? And then of course, what's his name? John Lenneman from DF Retro.
Yep, Digital Foundry. I know a lot of people watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and lots of people have watched the SHIRO shows that have debuted various navigators too. So, yeah,
of course.
For not
I didn't want to pat
this
myself
patch,
on the
we've
back.
gotten it kind of out there, so people know about it, and they'll kind of know what's going on with it, and so there'll be a little more exposure for it when it finally releases pretty shortly now.
Exactly, yeah. Speaking of which, about an hour, on our website, we're going to launch an article with the download link inside of it, it's going to be linking to not only their link on Sega Extreme to download the patch, but also another document just in case, like 2 mirrors. So in case it gets bogged down or something, we got backups and stuff. It's always good to have redundancies and mirrors, guys. That's first lesson of programming: redundancies, mirrors, backup. But speaking of which,
the first lesson was Hello World.
That too, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, like I said, but the cool thing about the article we're writing is that it also has like detailed instructions on how to patch. Actually, you know what? Should I show the article off early, guys? What do you think? Well, not release, just like show it off.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Let me go get that web page. Here we go. There we go. So it's a little detailed article. Got of course got the name of it. Got information what the patch does, twin stick layout, the cool little all the navigators and all their voice actors, actresses, and there's one we have right here, CrouchingMouse as Kira Diabisi.
Kina Diabisi.
Diabas.
Is it
I don't remember. It's a wrestler, and I don't remember their name.
Ted Diabisi, I think, right? K's the big wrestling guy. He'd know.
Wrestling is a huge blind spot for me, and it took and this was the missing link for us to realize that all of the navigators.
My girlfriend reports as DiBiase.
DiBiase.
Yeah. All of the navigators' last names are taken from pro wrestlers, and this was completely over my head at the start of the project.
Oh, that makes sense. Scott Steiner.
I thought they were supposed to be like
Flair.
Personality traits or something. You had Flair and Hart, and then I thought this was supposed to be devious, but it's not.
That's
DiBiase. And shout outs to Pudgy Bunny, my girlfriend, who she grew up watching wrestling with her dad and her brother, so she knew all those names. She's like, yeah, duh, those are all wrestling names.
I didn't see the any of the written stuff, but yeah, I would have been able to figure out like $1 Million Man DiBiase.
This gives a whole new. We have a running joke about there's this guy that says woo all the time. Was it Clemont Lago, whatever his name is? We always joke woo. So now every time I see medical flare, I just think woo. Oh god, that's bad. That's hard. That's awful. That's bad. But yeah, going more into this article, it has like all the credits and stuff in there. It has the download links, of course, the coveted download links. It's like we're locking up the last Michael Jackson single, guys. Right here in this file, locked off to the public. I have the power. No, I don't. But but it's all there. There's a nice README you can download, and then of course all the contact info of the devs and instructions on how to patch and rip your disk and copy it if it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the page like that. But yeah, as you can see, it's very, very detailed. You go through the entire patching process, so it should be easy to follow. And if you have questions, you can maybe message in the Discord. I might reply back. I might not. More than likely not. But no. All joking aside, it's pretty straightforward. The patch. It's in there, and then it's also in the document as well. So it shouldn't be too bad. Did a great job putting everything together and having all these cool little press kit for me. So thank you very much, whoever set that up.
Sure. Shout out to Dan who set up the press kit.
Shouts out.
At least the vast majority of it, and was really. He's been busting his patoot all week to make sure that this is all right. And I mean, the whole team has been working around the clock this week, but Dan really has been.
And he's not just saying round the clock. Like, we have been working round the clock for the last week, with very little sleep and a whole lot of stress, trying to get this thing done, chasing down bugs and adding last second features, and it's been a heck of a week.
Lots of last minute fires. Yeah.
You guys technically did this in 9 months. Because I think this whole thing got kicked off in like March or something like that. March or April.
Yeah, about mid-February. Yeah, mid-February.
The early language translation started in mid-February.
Oh, okay, mid-February. Okay.
Yeah, that's when we started getting those little patches. It was cool getting those. I think that was probably the highlight of my days, just getting those patches in my inbox and be like, hey, here's a new patch. Go download it and let's play.
I mean, most regular games I would say it would be incredible to, do a project like this from complete, start to completion in 9 months. But considering what you guys have pumped into this, and just the level of professionalism, and then all the people you got on board to do this project, it's kind of staggering to think about,
Yeah. Well, that's why I say it's such a miracle of community, because I feel like there's so many other scenarios that could have played out where it just petered out because we didn't have the people we needed, or people were just busy. But just time and again, things kept aligning properly, and we put out a casting call and hey, we have we're looking for actors for an unpaid gig for an obscure Sega Saturn game from Japan. And the fact that we had any responses, let alone the sort of mini flood that we did get, it just wasn't a sure thing at all. So, it just feels like it was really lucky.
Definitely, for sure. I definitely know how. I mean, seeing every post that you guys do, it had tons and tons of shares and stuff out, and it's wow, people really love this thing, and it's amazing. What were you saying, C1? Sorry about that. Didn't mean to
I was
talk
just saying
over
that I thought I heard CrouchingMouse was about to say something before we got into a big discussion.
Oh, I was just thinking back to, because I helped with the translation for the Sakura Wars patch, and I was just thinking it took us nearly 2 years to finish that, and I can't believe you guys got this out in less than a year. It's astounding.
Well, when I first very casually was yeah, I would translate that game, my thinking was that there's not that much to translate in Bulk Slash. I did not think ahead about the fact that we would have to be doing a dub for it to be worthwhile, and that there's not a lot of precedent for that. But yeah, I specifically was afraid of getting my feet wet with something like Sakura Wars, or these more the games that tend to get be in high demand for translations, or text heavy RPGs and stuff like that. But to me, that was just it's too daunting, especially with no experience. So it would be unrealistic to start off with that. But then it's okay, but Bulk Slash has all these unique challenges. So in a way, the timeline feels about right. But yeah, we did kind of have to invent a lot of processes.
And they're all worth it.
I hope that folks who are not typically into dubs will give this a chance, because I feel like it's really special what you guys did. And I know there are those few people who are kind of too cool for school, and they're oh, it's got to be sub or nothing for me. And I'm well, go play the Japanese version. It's infinitely playable. It's been very playable for the last couple decades that people have been enjoying it. But I mean, what you guys have made here is really special, and it's definitely the point. Is that you guys made this a dub, and not just any dub, but a better dub than they probably would have made back in the day, right?
Exactly.
They had, quickly localized it.
Yeah, we are benefiting from just so many advances in tech and technology, and also just, I think I don't know, familiarity of the average person with this media. So we have, I think in general, the baseline for performance, the standards for performance are a lot higher now. But also just the fact that you could count on anyone who volunteered to already have a mic that's pretty decent quality, and to have software that's good enough for what we're doing, and being able to direct these sessions over Discord. This is all stuff that's it just gives us a lot more power than we would have had in the 90s, obviously, even if we were adults back then.
And realistically, a localization back then would have been between 3 to maybe 6 months at max, and they wouldn't have had the opportunity to reach out for casting. A lot of times they would just be
right.
Okay, we'll get this dude down in accounting, we'll have him come into the booth.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's the other aspect of this project, is that because it was an unofficial thing, we got to be picky. And we were very concerned with holding on to our momentum and not letting that start to fade, but it did give us the leeway to be like, I want to get this character exactly right, so let's hold off on making a casting decision until we've heard from a few more people. And then, setting up the calls to actually do the recording sessions. And that was actually one of the reasons that this project didn't come out even sooner, is that sometimes it was just like, okay, we got to record Lyra. When can we get Lyra on the phone? It's going to be a month at least. And so you just, but we had the flexibility to make that call and wait. So, yeah, we definitely had a lot more like on our side than a project in the 90s would have had. So
there's such a massive wealth of talent out there. When I was starting out trying to help these guys get the voice actors, I'm scouring through Instagram, and there's tons and tons of people that are just doing fan dubs of whatever, comics, manga, their own memes on Danganronpa. These people know other people, and they'll even refer each other to us. And it's just amazing that they're all set up. They all have their microphones. Maybe they're not the best quality, but the point is they have the talent, and just that they needed the voice direction in order to make this project work properly.
Exactly, and I think that's a big thing that's amazing these days, like compared to the 90s, where you need to go into a giant studio, you need to have the the room set up, you need to have the $1,000 mic set up, you had to have all that to do it. But nowadays, you can just go down to a Best Buy or Amazon, order a small the Behringer 4-way XLR input, or not even that, just go buy a USB mic off of Amazon. There's like $100 mics, the AT2020, perfectly great mic. I used it for years on the podcast, sounded fantastic. And it's like there's just so many options nowadays for voice actors.
Yeah.
So have there been any previous high profile fan dubs, game patches that you guys can think of? Because it seems to me like this sets kind of a precedent.
East 4, but that was 10 years ago.
East 4, okay,
yeah. It was a different time. Well, I mean, technological wise, it was just a different time in general. Because 10 years ago, I mean, the technology and accessibility jumped hugely. Just the knowledge base.
And social media has really helped drive this, like you said, the community aspect and reaching out. Again, something they didn't have in the 90s, or wasn't even that developed a decade ago. But yeah, so. That's rad. I mean, definitely, I've said this before, so I sound like a broken record, but I definitely think you guys set the bar and a precedent for hopefully more projects like this, because you guys are like the new working designs.
Except you don't add Bill Clinton jokes in there.
We don't make the game harder.
We don't make the game worse.
This is true.
Or that.
Ooh, big burn.
Yeah, definitely hoping to keep it going and figure out what comes next. I certainly have my own short list of things I would like to do, but it's just a matter of figuring out what each game would require, and then figuring out who wants to be involved. But I think it would be silly not to do something following this, especially since the response has been so positive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Well, we'll do another poll.
Yeah, do another poll.
Yeah.
I think some of the games, at least on the polls, that were the biggest that at least I've seen, were, of course, I don't have to even say it. Everyone knows Princess Crown, and then of course Sakura Wars 2 is another one that's everyone's been mumbling about that they want to get done, but nobody knows how or where they're going to implement it in, because it's such an undertaking. Because it took CrouchingMouse and the rest of the team 2 years to do the first one, so I can't imagine how long or the effort that would be required to do the second one, and just the debugging tools. Because I was talking to, I think Derek was talking about that, or I forgot who it was. Maybe it was you, see, when we were talking about the debugging tools where they just weren't good on the Dreamcast. Or no, was that Night? I can't remember. It's been so long.
That was Derek.
Oh.
Derek.
Yeah, that had to be Derek.
Yeah, and then he said that it was kind of a nightmare. It just had not great debugging tools. So yeah, even if Sakura Wars 2 on Dreamcast would be easier, the debugging tools just weren't there. So it definitely leads to that one for a lot of people wanting that to be. But what do you guys think? I guess spitballing. If you guys could pick one to be done like that, which one would it be? If you could pick one,
I just really want Bach and Rotor, and yeah, that or Nanatsu Kaze no Shima.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hand drawn. There was a Spanish translation of that under yeah, but I don't think it came to anything. It's just like stalled out.
yeah, I know one big one I want is the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. I know it has a PSP release, but like just I can't remember who it was, but they shared like the text of an insert into the game, so it's possible. So it'd definitely be one I'd like to see because I'm a big Shin Megami fan. So definitely.
I've just been playing through Soul Hackers recently. That's like I guess it's a spin-off of Devil Summoner.
Yeah, is it Soul Hackers on the Saturn, or is it
complicated enough?
yeah, because technically Shin Megami Tensei is a spin-off of. Is it just the Megami Tensei series? Technically.
Yeah, I know. I know I've had this all laid out for me like 3 separate times this year, and I still don't remember how this how this extended universe works.
Because Persona, technically, a lot of people think that's a spinoff of Shin Megami, but they don't realize there's like another one on top of that. I think Digital Devil Summoner is technically the original, like
Persona
the one
was the spinoff of Shin Megami Tensei If, and then they made Persona 1.
And of course, it was originally just called Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
And then they made a sequel or a redo or something of it, a remake, and they called it Shin Megami Tensei. So and they just stuck with the name from there for some reason.
It's all new. Everything's new.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's all good. But speaking of that, I'm super excited for the Persona 4 Arena getting a port to PS4. That's finally great. I don't want to spend $120 on that game. Hate that. But yeah, that'd be a cool one. What about the rest of you guys? If you guys could pick one, what would you pick?
What to do a localization of?
Like you just snap your fingers and it's localized.
Well, if it was as easy as snapping my fingers, I would say let's get Princess Crown out the door.
Yeah.
I love Vanillaware, and I think that's that game. It fits right in with the rest of their stuff. If you like, it's really fun. It's really pretty.
And you have a pre-existing translation to work from.
Yeah.
That always makes it easier, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm keen to kind of keep looking at more like relatively smaller scope action titles, kind of like in the same vein as Bulk Slash. It's the kind of game I like to play, and I think that you can get them out the door faster, which keeps the scene thriving. And it just gives people more stuff quicker. I'm a huge fan of the twin stick. We've talked in the past about how Night of Dragon added twin stick support to Bulk Slash for this project. There's a few other Japan-only twin stick games that I think are really fun. We've got Gun Griffin 2, and then the Gundam Side Story trilogy, of which only Part 2 and 3 support the twin stick currently, but Part 1 probably could. And they've never been translated. I think they're some of the most fun games on the Saturn, so I would love to see those
Amen.
happen.
Amen.
Princess Crown, I feel like, has been in development hell for the past decade. So I'm calling that vaporware until that guy actually makes progress.
I think you started to update it. I think Dave knows.
Sam I am. Oh well, I thought Sam I am was working on it, but then he kind of got sidetracked with another project.
He'll pop up every few months and say it's close to being done, and then he'll go back to being silent.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe it's close to being done, but it's being worked on in pieces. Yeah.
I mean, we also can't forget, people have their actual lives, and Cyber Warrior X has been working on that particular translation for the better part of a decade.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, helped produce Pseudo Saturn. So, right, I get that people are chomping at the bit for stuff like that, but
Oh yeah, we forgot to thank COVID for this translation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
thanks,
thing.
COVID.
Is like
Yeah,
it
thanks,
really is. There's so many ways that a project can stall out, but I do think the timing was a major factor, and COVID is a big part of that. Not to thank COVID in earnest,
Yes.
but like I do think that that's part of the story. there.
Ironically.
But yeah, I think
the
that's
silver
a
lining.
common thread with people, like just being able to work on different projects. Like I know that's what exactly what Derek said with his stuff. It's like, yeah, I did it because I was bored and COVID. So, and it's just funny to me. But I mean, at least now we're getting all these translations and stuff. But I mean, I imagine we get them, but probably a lot slower if this didn't happen. Because I know that the Soccer Wars one is big, and I mean, we got a lot during this age. Like we got the Lunar stuff like figured out because they were struggling that for a bit. They had what was the other one they did? That was the other PS1 port. That's not Grandia.
Grandia.
No, not Grandia. It's the other one. It's we did something
Castlevania.
That one too. Vandal Hearts. That's it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good to get out. So we're getting quite a bit. Not to mention all the
you guys,
other stuff. What?
Yeah, I remembered. Okay, this is one I mentioned before, but action game shooter is the Bokan to Ipatsu. It's the Yatterman game.
Yeah.
It's like a anime shooter. That's that would be cool to be translated.
That'd be nice. I'd be down for that one.
Yeah, it's fun. Good music too.
Huh.
Sure.
Actually am not familiar with that one. I know I've heard the name, but
how it is written? Can you write it into the chat?
Sure. Yeah, I'll write it into the chat. It's Bokan to Ipatsu, or Time Bokan, is from the Time Bokan series. You basically play as the bad guys, and you're actually
the Darth Vader game.
Hold a second, Bokan.
It's really
the
good
one
though.
you talked about in the last podcast.
I believe I did. Yeah, I mentioned it.
Yeah. Also, there actually is another translation. I didn't, not translation, but there's a mod that I didn't announce that I think I'll do here because I think it's fitting. Sadly, the person that did it left the chat, which is kind of sad. But Nutrageous actually sent me a patch he sent me for replacing the music in Wipeout XL with the PS1 version of it, or Wipeout on the Saturn. So that's one we're gonna do on a future Shiro show, maybe next week. I need to get with him and sort that out, but I just wanted to announce that he did that. He said, "Oh yeah, it's ready." It's like, "Oh yeah, how long is it gonna take you?" "Oh, it's done." It's like, okay. So that's there. So we'll probably play that and figure out a way to release that in the next coming times. We'll figure that out. But I guess for the rest of the chat, do you guys want to go through sort of, because we're almost close to the patch dropping. I think about another 30 minutes, an hour, 3 minutes, an hour. Yeah, because there was a drop at
whenever you want. I think our plan was to maybe do it when we're close to starting the gameplay segment and debuting the Last Navigator Kina's English voice as voiced by CrouchingMouse. So I guess that would be in about half an hour.
Sounds good.
Are you gonna show off the trailer that we made?
Trailer.
When we get close to that time.
I'm just getting a transmission here. Hold on real quick. We just got it. Got a trailer. All right. Why don't we? Do you guys want to jump to that? What do you guys think in the chat? You guys want to see the trailer for the upcoming Bulk Slash translation? You guys want that, guys? I'm gonna take that as a yes. But yep. Let's go and check out that trailer.
Launching operation. Leone Rhodes.
Lieutenant Naira Savage.
I am Medical Flag.
Sergeant Colin Steiner. Named Ruby of Rue.
Holy moly! Ahead at 12 o'clock.
More to the right. Back it up.
Left! I said left! Hang in there.
It's over.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was fire, guys. That was
Can I
Fire.
just make a little shout out here? So this trailer was crafted by a YouTuber who goes by the handle Boffner. We discovered him because he made a bulk slash video that is just like this big Valentine to the game. He loves the game. He's really good at it. And his video was just like this. It was so positive. He has this enthusiasm for cool games that's really infectious. And so I worked with him, and he made the whole trailer. Shadow Mask did the audio mixing and post.
Shouts out.
But all the video editing was Boffner. I really recommend checking out his channel if you're looking for more positivity in the game scene and someone who covers Saturn games and other retro games.
No, for sure. And I was actually toying with the idea of including that in the article, but that won't be, mostly because it would require me to upload to YouTube and or some other hosting thing and take away from Boffner's views, which I think is just a shame.
Do it.
Huh?
He wants you to do it, as long as you credit him.
Oh, no, I meant like
everyone's free to host the video, but it's ultimately your guys' call. So don't.
Yeah, because I wanted. Is he gonna share it on his channel? Because I just want to wait for that to go up so he can get all those views. Okay, so I'm gonna wait till he puts that on. I'm gonna put it as the header for the article. I don't want to take away from his views at all. I know that I'm really picky with YouTube, and I know that that's a killer for some channels. So I want to make sure that that trailer is on his channel, and you guys will be able to view that. And we'll link that there once it's up. I don't have any contact with him, but I imagine you guys will sort that out and let me know once he puts that
we'll
up.
let you know. Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right. So, you know what? I want to watch that again. What do you guys think? You guys want to see the trailer one more time?
One more time?
One more time, trailer? Let's do it, guys. Trailer one more time. Woo!
Launching operation. Leone Rhodes.
Lieutenant Naira Savage.
I am Mexico Fly.
Sergeant Colin Steiner. Named Ruby of Rue.
Holy moly! Ahead at 12 o'clock.
More to the right. Back it up.
Left! I said left! Hang in there.
It's over.
All right, guys, we're back. That's the trailer from Boffner, the amazing bulk / English translation trailer. I loved it. I wanted to watch it twice. Sorry, guys. I know some people didn't, but I wanted to, and I think a lot of people want to see it again. Holy moly, indeed. That's like my favorite line.
Goddamn awesome.
Oh man, so I had written out a whole outline because I was trying to take as much of the burden off Boffner as possible. But when I gave him a bunch of raw footage I had captured. And when he started getting to work on it, he pinged me and he was like, "Lyra's holy moly is amazing."
It is good.
And I saw that he had worked it into a rough cut of the trailer. I was like, "Yeah, let's keep it in there. It is an amazing line."
That was really funny. I'm glad you added that line, and I think all the voice actors have a bunch of different lines I love. I think with that voice actor, I can't remember who did her voice off the top of my head. Actually, let me look at the article.
Aaron Leaf, I believe, did Lyra's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Leaf, yeah. I think my favorite lines of her is that one and the "I don't want to die."
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Yeah,
that was want to die.
That was a pivotal line in getting her the role. It just just thought her when she delivered that line in the audition, I thought it was so funny.
Yeah,
for sure. So
and this trailer was pretty much put together over this past week as we were kind of in our crunch period leading up to launch here too, wasn't it?
Yeah, speaking of that, do you guys want to talk about the stuff you were going through the last week? I know you sent me at least like 3 or 4 different patches in the span of like a day, which I thought was pretty funny.
That maybe kind of happened. I literally did not come up with the final version of the patch until 2.5 hours ago. We were changing it up until then. I mean, today there weren't like wholesale changes or anything. It was tweaking little things that were problems. And Pat Trainico found a problem on his own when I sent him what I thought was going to be the final version of the patch. And he went to use it and patch a copy of the game. And he's like, hey, so it's asking me to save, what the name of the file will be when I patch the game. And it defaults to this super long file name that's pulling out of some of the metadata in the patch file. And it has like a period in it because it said version 1.0. And that was throwing windows. And when you try to just save with the default file name, Windows doesn't like it. And it gives you an error message and it won't do it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a problem. Like, technically, it's a real easy fix. Just change the file name. Just name it something different. Don't use the default. But a lot of people are probably just going to go with the default, thinking that's what I should do. I don't want to screw this up. And then they're going to see it gives them an error, and they're going to wonder what they did wrong, or they're going to complain at us that we sent out a broken patch.
Gonna have 50 ats on Twitter. I can't wait for that, Dan.
Or we'll be answering questions about why this doesn't work for the next 10 years as this patch, floats around the internet. So I was like, yeah, we got to get this fixed. So I went to Night of Dragon real quick because he helped with the metadata and stuff with the patch. And we kind of figured out how to change that real quick. So it would just default to the name /, and it's going to work and be real easy for people. So
cool.
I'm glad to see that I can carry along my work to my passion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this whole week has been very, very busy and frankly very stressful as we try to pull everything together.
You guys nailed it, though.
As late as this past weekend, a build of the game was totally locking up when you beat the game. As soon as you finish stage 7. Yeah. As soon as you finish stage 7, it's supposed to load up the main ending cinematic, and it was just a black screen. It wasn't going anywhere. We're like, oh, this isn't good. And that was right after we tried to put in the localization team's credits during the credit roll after the Japanese staff's credits. And something about that was making it crash pretty much. So we kind of like pared it back, tweaked it a little, and then it stopped crashing, but it threw a bunch of garbage up on screen over top of the cinematic as it's playing, and it was a bunch of pieces of tiles of letters, like graphical, letters that are stored technically as graphics within the game. It was pieces of letters all over the screen. We're like, what is this? We've never seen this before. What's going on? And then when it came to the actual credit roll after the cinematic, it was just, it kind of looked like it was supposed to, but it had a whole bunch of garbage to it. It looked terrible. We're like, we can't release it like this. The best idea we have as far as what was going on with that is that the credits were too long. It was trying to load all of those graphical tiles for the text into memory at once, and it was filling up the Saturn's video memory, VRAM. So we're like, okay, we got to come up with an idea for how to make this work. Night of Dragon came to the rescue and built a tool to make it a little easier to just feed credits into it, a big image file of them, and it would identify redundant tiles so that there wouldn't be multiples of the same exact tile in the video RAM, and it would just refer to the original one to kind of save on the space. And when we did that for just the Japanese staff's localized credits, translated credits, it worked. The game ran, no problems. When we tried to put the localization team, our credits afterward, like some of the other localization patches have done, like Cotton 2, has our Nanash managed to get our credits. It was just a few of us, but still managed to get our credits into the actual game. But I mean, we had a couple dozen people help out with this game, with this patch. So we had a lot of names to put in there, and it still could not handle it. And we were trying right up until a day ago to get it to work, right down to scrapping all of the lettering that I had hand drawn in MS Paint originally, and tile set, scrapping that completely, using just like a stock font that Night of Dragon was able to just like put in there with his tool that he programmed, that he built. And having it use a font that's half as high, it's half as big. Try to save room, but I think doing that meant that it couldn't find as many redundant tiles. So that it was still causing problems. It was still putting garbage up over top of the cinematic at the end, and the credits weren't looking right. So we're like, okay. So unfortunately, we had to scrap our own credits in the game. We're gonna keep trying. Maybe we can get it into a version 1.1 of the patch, but the version that everyone will download soon tonight, and going into the future, the 1.0 version will only have the original Japanese staff's names in there and translated, which we felt was the most important thing because they're the ones who really made the game.
Exactly.
As Lacquerware has been saying all throughout this project, the point of this project is preservation. You know, I mean, we're making a lot of changes to it as far as replacing voice files and correcting spelling errors and putting English in there for the briefings, but we're just doing the bare minimum, really, aside from adding twin stick controller support. We're just doing the bare minimum to make the game accessible to an English-speaking audience. We're trying to make this as much a preservation effort as anything else, so that people can enjoy this game the way Japanese players enjoyed it back in 1997.
Yeah, I'm speaking on that. Sorry. Yeah, speaking on the twin.
I suppose you could.
Dang it, Dave.
Sorry,
go, Dave.
Go
you
ahead,
go.
Go ahead. I was just saying, I suppose you guys could replace the names of the original voice actors since you've replaced their voices. You know, I mean, you took their voices out and put new voices in.
That is
so they're
fair.
not in the game anymore. That you could at least do that and get all the voice actors in there.
We could. I would like to find a solution that doesn't require that. I feel a little funny. I'm very conscious of the fact that we were not asked by the creators of the game to do this.
Right.
So, like, I'm trying very hard to keep our footprint small and not presume that we know better or trying to erase anything they did. You know, the twin stick was the biggest liberty we took. But that's still an addition, and as Lockwood had it, the game had a hidden fourth control layout that is not visible on the options screen, but that existed under the hood that Night of Dragon was able to hijack for the twin stick purposes. So we didn't even have to co-opt one of the 3 control schemes that are available on the options screen. There was a fourth one just waiting for us. But
it's almost like they waited years and years, like, okay, team's gonna come back years later and then use the slot. Let's do it, guys. It's like throwing a message in a bottle.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've just been very conscious of not wanting to erase their work, and I think inevitably when you translate, there is an element of erasure there, or you're deviating to some degree from the original work, but you try and it's like a spectrum how much you deviate, and even little decisions. I was pretty anal about stuff like the name, like proper nouns, stuff that probably would have been changed in a localization. Like the mech is called Guard Duel, which is a portmanteau, I guess, of the word guard and the word duel. Which I think that in Japanese, in katakana, it sounds all right. In English, it's a little unwieldy. I think that's the kind of thing that would be changed, but I feel like that's also the kind of thing that if you're gonna change, you should consult the creator and get their sign off. And that's a way that I thought that what we're doing differs from a localization that's to go to market to sell a copy of a game to a different audience. So it is more preservation than I think you're used to seeing with a localized game.
Yeah. One thing I also want to talk on real quick while they're here is both Shadow Mask and Jiggle85 are on the chat, and I kind of want to ask them about some of the music stuff that they worked on, if that's cool with you guys. Do you guys want to talk about sort of how you were approached and how you sort of worked with the music and what you did replace in the game?
Yeah.
Are they there?
Yeah, Shadow Mask said he's not in the voice.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yes.
How you doing? Yeah, I've got to push this thing on my phone. I'm just having a fag outside.
Who are we hearing
so
right now?
This is Jiggle85. And
Jiggle
Jiggle85 it was one of the guys who recreated the music that you hear in the ending cinematics of Bulk Slash. And just a real quick explainer of why that's necessary. The cinematics for Bulk Slash at the end of the game and the opener, all the sound is all in one thing. The sound effects and voices are not separate from the music. It's all just one sound file. So if we were going to redub the voices into English like we wanted to, we would have to completely strip away all of the original audio to those cinematics, remake the music, and try to make it sound as close as possible to the original, and reinsert sound effects, and then put our dub. So that's when Jiggle 85 came in.
Yeah. Did you want to talk a little about the music and what you did for that, Jiggle?
Yeah, so I originally got in touch with the guys because I had a friend that I thought would be really good for the voices, the narrators, and that didn't pan out. But then they asked, I said I was a guitarist and a musician, and they asked if I could do could I work out stuff by ear? And I read music. I've played guitar for like 20 years. Went to music college in London, and my brother's a whiz at like computery stuff. I like to just plug in an amp and make noise. But it was an opportunity for me and my brother to sort of bond a bit, and because we've not always been that close. And I sort of pushed him into it, and it went from there really.
Oh, nice. What was I know that you had to recreate a bunch of synth sounds as well, right?
Yeah, we had trouble with this like flute that we couldn't work out. My brother was like adamant that it was a stock sound, but they'd added something else. And obviously because the songs are just these they're quite old files, and we had this YouTube video with all the endings to work from, and my brother sort of went mad trying to hear the music over all the shouting of the characters excited at the end and stuff. But other than that flute, I think most of it was fine. But it's like with everyone, I think it's been difficult because everyone's got day jobs, or this is very much a passion project. So we just sort of, to be honest, we didn't really find it that difficult. I knew my brother I watched him literally just tap in the song as I sat there. So one of the endings is a lot shorter, but I think it comes up quite often. And he did that in about half an hour. And then it's just a case of making it sound exactly the same or as close as we can. And then Shadow Mask obviously added all these cool effects, and I've heard all of the endings now. I think they sound fantastic.
Yeah, no, you guys did a killer job on that. It feels like almost as it was 1-to-1. I could barely tell the difference. Like I have to, and it's a far cry from what was there before. Because I remember when we were streaming the ending, I think it was Momdu added in Prelude from Final Fantasy VII. So it's really funny seeing that and that, but it's really cool.
It was like a proof of concept type of thing, just to see if we could do it. Okay, yeah, we can put different music to these cinematics. Cool.
Yeah, I think Momphis also voiced all the characters in that version of the.
Yeah, he did. So that
great.
build exists out there somewhere. I think it's in one of the. Was it the July build? I think was that the one that has it in there.
I don't know.
I think, but
I've made so many builds in just the last week, let alone the last 9 months. I can't keep them all straight.
Yeah, but we have that.
The romance.
But I just want to thank Jiggle 85 and his brother Patrick and Shadow Mask for doing an amazing job on recreating the music, and working on putting sound effects in there and balancing it all with the voice acting. It's so awesome. It does sound almost 1-to-1 with the original. They did an amazing job. I don't know. I mean, we would have just had to be putting subtitles on these cutscenes, and it would have felt like an incomplete patch without their efforts. Because everything else would have been all in English. You have never seen or heard a word of Japanese until you get to these endings, and you'd be hearing Japanese even if you're reading English. and it just feels like a more complete product, being able to totally redub those cutscenes.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it just kind of hammers home the point I was making earlier about this being a sort of miraculous congregation of people of different disciplines, because that felt like such a cherry on top. Like, it just felt like every time we hit a roadblock, we'd be like, well, we would have to learn all of the music from the game by ear and then perform it at a studio quality. You know, it's just like there's no way in hell we're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have this sort of inconsistent project where the endings are in Japanese and subbed. And then Jiggle kind of just came out of nowhere and was like, "No, we can do all of that, and we will."
Yeah, and he dropped this demo of the peaceful tune that you hear in a few of the endings, and it just sounded perfect. And I'm like, well, you're hired. We can't offer you any money, but you're hired. It's great.
It's just insane. Like, I mean, like you were saying before, like even 10 years ago, something like that would not be possible. It's just like nowadays there's so much stuff like with Pro Tools and there's all this plug and play that you can just plug it in and make it sound like it was made in a studio. Like you don't really need to go to studio anymore to get this processed. I mean, it sounds just as good without it. It's crazy. I mean, maybe some people would tell the difference. I know that Shadow Mask is a guy that he works in the studio, so maybe he'll be able to talk more on that. And if you want to chime in, Shadow Mask, about the production, let us know in the chat if you can't get into the voice chat.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out something Shadow Mask did say in the chat. He wanted to say to Jiggle85, it was a pleasure working with you. I'm happy with how it all turned out as well. Also, killer guitar work. And yes, the guitar work was killer, because I mean this game has some good guitar licks, and they were recreated masterfully for those endings.
Yeah, no, it's insane, and it's just amazing how much went into this project, and that's why we had to have so many streams, because there's no way we could fit like all this information into one podcast. It had to be like 5 different streams plus this one. And even then, I think we're leaving stuff out. 7
navigators.
7 navigators in a stream. And I think even that, we're leaving information on the table at this point. Like, it's like that.
I mean, considering the work they put in, I think each navigator deserved, a little bit of spotlight there,
Exactly, and when
it's also just such a major. Sorry, I was just gonna say that like the navigators really are the stars of the game. That's where all of the language translation comes in, with the exception of like a couple small things like the mission briefing text and then the credits. But the vast majority of what we were doing was translating what the navigators say, and it's a major gameplay feature. So it really is, it's their show. So again, not to be a broken record, but the fact that you guys were willing to lend us your platform over and over to give the due attention to each one of these navigators is really great. Thank you.
It's our honor. It's our honor. Like we feel honored that we were able to be like, hey, you want to show this off? And like, absolutely, we're going to show this off. Like, because we're big fans of the games. We're the big fans of all these games. We're the ones that were, like, talking, and I don't know, how many podcasts ago was it, where it's like, man, I'd love to play Bulk Slash in English, or I'd love to play this game in English, and, like, now we're getting it. I think even one cast, I think we talked about, like, Grandi or something, and it got translated. Was that you, Dave? I think that was you that talked about, like, man, I'd love to play Grandi, and it's like, it happened.
Oh, I know. That was crazy. Yeah, one of our very early podcasts, we were talking about repros and artwork and stuff like that, and I think Kay asked, like, well, what would be your pie in the sky? And I was just like, I just really wish somebody would do Grandia, and I never thought it would happen. But I mean, speaking to the platform, I have to reiterate, I know this might sound, silly or cliche, but this is really your platform too, guys. I mean, we're fans of you guys. We're ecstatic that you guys decided to take on this translation. We love this game. We're so glad to see it and hear it in English. We geek out over all the navigators and all the work they've done, and honestly, so like, I mean, SHIRO is like your guys' platform too, and I'm really glad that it came along, that it's come as far as it has, and that it's come along at the right time to be able to support you guys as much as we could. And of course, it's going to be there for you, whatever next project you guys decide to take on, because that's what we're all about. is building this community and helping more people discover Saturn and get into enjoying it.
And this is not the.
And
this is
thank
not
you
the.
for that.
Sorry. No. Yeah. Sorry.
I was just saying, and thank you for that. I love this platform you got going. Your weekly. I mean, imagine a weekly show about Sega Saturn, and it's just so cool. When I first heard about it, I'm like, oh dang, like somebody's actually doing this. And then your website dedicated to Saturn community news and everything. And I mean, it's so cool you guys do this. So I appreciate you guys for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I mean, I think we started the show just so we can cut back on the time we use on the podcast. And honestly, I think this started overtaking the podcast as the main thing right now.
Yeah, for better or for worse, probably. No, I mean it's great. I was streaming games on every Friday, and I was like, well, why don't we just turn this into something? Pat was always on every single one of the streams. I was like, well, we're already here. Why don't we just start talking about like news and stuff like that? Do something valuable with the time, on Fridays. And yeah, but I mean, honestly, we really do need to give the mainline, I guess, the story arc podcast some more love and attention. But we're really looking forward to having Peter come back from his school hiatus. So definitely we're going to be gearing up a lot when he's able to get his hands on deck again. But yeah, we'll probably have a New Year's cast coming up here.
I actually talked to Brian about that. I think he wants to do that. And I don't. I'm sort of talking behind the scenes, but I think Brian wanted to do a New Year's cast, so I think we should probably get that going.
Definitely.
But yeah, one thing I actually want to talk about. We're running out of time, but I know the SSG is here. I kind of want to see his views on this project and his sort of struggles with Bulk Slash, because I know he started a translation. If he's still here, it looks like he's muted though.
SSG is a well-known fan of Bulk Slash.
Very, very well known. In fact, if I remember right, it was my second video I ever made for my channel. No, as you talked about, I attempted, let's put it that way, a translation of Bulk Slash way back, and did some artwork for it and such, and it just the old country boy knows how to do a lot of stuff. He does not know how to program. So I reached out to a lot of people. I tried to get some understanding. I did not have the time, resources, and to be honest with you, the willingness to try to learn how to code multiple ways and all the rest of this crap. I was working on Bulk Slash and I was working on Gun Griffin too. I figured out a number of things in regards to them, and once I saw how much of a hurdle I had in front of me and didn't really have any, I had a little bit of help, but I didn't have somebody to hold my hand, which is what I really needed, because I had absolutely no idea how to code. So I walked away from it. And to see that, a year or so later, people popped up and, I mean, y'all killed it. Y'all have absolutely killed it. Like, there's no way how ecstatic I can say I am about this. I'm going to love my fan base wants me. I hate saying fan base, but the people who enjoy my content want me to recreate some kind of video talking about it, including all the work y'all have done on the patch. And I'm going to wait until everybody has a chance to play it. I'm going to wait until, I get a chance to play it, because besides a couple of alpha builds that y'all gave me the ability to play, I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I've only been able to see what's been on the SHIRO show. So I'm looking highly forward to playing this in the next couple of days and getting my teeth into it, and the first time in full English, not just, in text form, but audio and everything else, because audio is such a big deal with this game. But yeah, that I'm not going to take away from them anymore. Like, this is their stuff. And I think I speak for a lot of people in the community when I say we are absolutely thankful for everything y'all have done, especially in this short amount of time. Keep up the great work, y'all.
Thanks so much. That really means a lot. And please do let us know what you think of it after you've had a chance to check out the full build.
Yeah, really thank you for the kind words. It comes a lot coming from you. I mean, I have watched your video on Bulk Slash before, and your other videos. I mean, one of the reasons I wanted to help out on Bulk Slash however I could was because I checked it out one time about a year ago. I've only had a Saturn for a few years, admittedly. And I mean, I've been a Sega fan since I was 8 years old back in the early 90s. But I didn't get a Saturn originally, and so I just got into it recently in my life. And I checked out Bulk Slash about a year or so ago, and I'm like, this game is amazing. It has like some of the best 3D graphics on the Saturn. It just plays so well. The music's fantastic. It has so many cool things going on with it, and so I have watched some of started watching videos about other people have done about Bulk Slash and that sort of thing, and SSGs was definitely one of them. And that's just my fandom for the game was one of the reasons I wanted to help with however I could with making an English version of it possible, just because I wanted to know what these navigators were saying. I wanted to know what was being said in the briefings, So thank you to Greg for translating it. Thank you to Lacquerware.
Yes, thank you guys. Amazing job.
If you guys ever do Gun Griffin 2, or if anybody does, they need to have Sam on as a consultant though, because he could get you real deep into the or into the backstory. Apparently, there's a real huge story to Gun Griffin 2.
Lord, okay, nice.
There's definitely a backstory, and we need to rectify what Sega did with Gun Griffin 1 before we ever did Gun Griffin 2.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Gotta fix that up.
Well. It's a SSG video coming soon, someday. So I won't say soon.
Right.
One day
In the future, amongst the relics of the past. I don't know. We got to figure that part out.
It's gonna be like Mobile Suit Gundam. He'll be like Amuro, and he's fighting the evils of trying to make a video and having it stopped.
I should just make a video where I jump into a giant robot and have to fight my own problems to make a video. That's a great idea, Pat.
I'm down.
I'd watch it.
Down, but yeah.
What you really need to do is just make a giant robot that you can get into, and that'll help you do your day job a little quicker.
So, like those things from Aliens, the exoskeletons.
Power loader. I'm a bad Aliens fan, guys. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I actually just played Aliens EP.
My finger is hovering over the Go Live button on Sega Extreme for this patch. Do you think it's about time?
Yeah, it's about time. I got my finger over the publish button on the article,
man.
so...
Okay. I'm really hoping that nothing breaks when I click this, because the way this week has gone, it's definitely a possibility. I don't think it's not going to happen.
It'll be funny. Let me get the website up, and then I'll do a countdown. Then we'll hit the button at the same time, and we'll get this going. All right.
Me down.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's live, guys. It's live. SegaSaturnShiro.com. The article is now live. You can now view the article. The download is there. The link to our webpage is down in the video description below. SegaSaturnShiro.com is the website. It has the patch all the way down here. It's right here, the section underneath the credits for the team. You can download that. There's a mirror link to the Sega Extreme, just in case that one breaks, that I have up. Redundancies.
It looks like it's up. I think we're okay.
Yeah, I'm opening up Sega Extreme, and there's a download link open.
I'm clicking download, and it's downloading the zip file that I was editing as of a few hours ago.
Let's verify that. I'm gonna hit the mirror link. Ooh, right there, big download button, guys. Download, boys. Right there, in the corner. Right in the little corner. Let me. Like over there, up there, the giant download button. It's not showing my cursor, but imagine I'm pointing a cursor. Yeah, see, it's lighting up right there in the corner. Download it, guys. Download it. Go to the article. I think is the website slogging. I think our website is slowing down on us.
I just tweeted it out too. So
nice.
The world knows now. The world has it in their hands. It's out of our hands now.
Nice.
It's not gonna lie, it's been a stressful week, and it's been kind of nerve-wracking trying to get this ready to go in the way it should be, in the right way, to get all our ducks in a row. But it's kind of exciting to finally get this out to everybody.
It crashed our website!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Oh
no. It crashed our
Too much
website.
pent-up demand. Jeez.
Oh God. Okay, Patrick's gonna have to do some Matrix stuff right now. Let me. I'm sorry, guys. The website crashed. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go. I'm gonna get the link and I'm gonna tweet it out. I'm gonna I'm gonna hide this video because I don't want people seeing my search history. Not that I have anything bad on there, but I don't want people seeing my investment strategy. Yeah, it's the investment strategy. I mean, I got the suit on, dude. I'm investing king right here. You can't. I can't believe that crashed our website. Oh man, our webmaster's gonna be so pissed at us. All right, well we have to. I didn't realize that our web traffic was
back.
Okay, it's back. Okay, it's back, guys. Yeah. All right, yeah, we gotta get like web traffic bigger than 10. Support it. We'll figure that out. That's the Patreon money. We got Patreon money for that now. So, I'm just gonna tweet it out. Getting the link right now. Go on Twitter. Twitter.com.
Do we want to put the trailer out there again?
Oh, yeah. Do we want to do that? I was going to do that before
do we have a link that I can tweet out for
the trailer?
Brenton's just shared it out.
I shared it out.
Yeah, we're free to tweet it. I don't know if Boffner's uploaded it yet. He was gonna. He may or may not have, but go ahead and tweet it out if you feel like tweeting it out. I was about to as well. Yeah, I think we should just do that.
Everybody should tweet it. Reach the maximum amount of people as we can.
I tweeted out that we broke your website and how proud I was of the NECA community now.
All right, so I'm tweeting it right now. Our website is down, but the patch isn't down. The bulk/fan translation here. Should I put an image? I was thinking of putting an image of Initial D. I don't think I'm just gonna put our video one. I'm not gonna be funny. I'm gonna put that in there. Gonna tweet that out. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Didn't realize our website would break. Yeah, yes, I'm wearing pants. Like people are asking me that. You think I would wimp out and just go with a jacket? Hope you don't play that. Right there, got the pants. Pants right here. I don't mess around with that. Don't call me on that. I was waiting for somebody to call me on that, and I had the receipts to back that up. I would not go pantsless on the stream, guys. Thank you. I've seen a lot of nice suits. Thank you very much, guys. This suit was expensive, but I like it. I might take off the jacket for the game stream, though. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about putting the tie around my head like in the Japanese anime when they're drunk and doing stuff. I don't know.
You need to get like a trumpet or something like that. You look like the dude from the Boss Tones.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm about to form a ska band.
Yeah, you are. Do a ska band.
Sounds good. I'm gonna be just doing covers of Aquabats the entire time.
You need to skank on that screen.
Oof, I'm not commenting on that one. But yeah,
you use it to dramatic effect. When the game starts getting hard, you take off the jacket and roll up the sleeves, and then when it gets even harder, you take off the tie. And by the end of the stream,
around my head, though.
It'll be tied around your head.
I got you. We'll figure it out. But speaking of which, we should probably jump. Real Big Fish. Hell yeah, that's a good band. We should probably jump to the gameplay stream. But before we do, why don't we show that trailer one more time, eh?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, right. Let's get that trailer. We're jumping in the game stream. Let's do it, boys.
Launching operation. Leone Rhodes.
Lieutenant Naira Savage.
I am Medical Flag.
Sergeant Colin Steiner. Named Ruby of Rue.
Holy moly! Ahead at 12 o'clock.
Lord of the Right. Back it up.
Left! I said left! Hang in there.
It's over.